This is our tiny house on the water, moored about 5 miles north of downtown Seattle. We put it on the market in June 2020, and as of early July, it's still available. I bought this houseboat in 2011. It's 28 feet long and 10 feet wide. The hull is fiberglass over plywood, and the siding is solid teak. I bought it as a renovation project, and at that time, it was just one story. It didn't have electrical, plumbing, or propane. It had a tiny hotel-sized fridge, a small crawl-in bed cubby, a big kitchen dinette, and almost zero storage space. It wasn't a boat anyone could live on. So I was excited to turn it into the perfect place to live. One of the main things I focused on in designing the new layout was providing just tons of storage space. I am not a minimalist. I like having stuff, and I love having plenty of space to put things away. So having a lot of storage space was one of my main goals in the new design. It was so fun figuring out what I'd want this place to be like if I were to live here. I even built a model of it from balsa wood so I could really get a sense of what the new design would look like. Basically, we gutted the interior, leaving only one corner of the kitchen, and completely remodeled the first floor. And at the same time, we added the second-story bedroom. I never would have taken on this project if I didn't have friends who are boat builders. Our friends Alex and Jack Wilkin did an incredible job of renovating this houseboat. Our daughter lived on the boat for almost 4 years, starting in her sophomore year at the University of Washington. She loved it, but eventually she wanted to get a dog, and pets aren't allowed on the dock, and she wanted to live in the city where she could walk to everything. So she moved out last month. This is a house barge, meaning it doesn't have an engine or steering, and it's meant to be moored in one place. This number is the permit number we were granted by the City of Seattle that means it's officially a floating on-water residence. The City of Seattle decided several years ago that they wouldn't allow any new houseboats in the city limits, so we were lucky to be granted this, which gives us permission to live on the water. The boat uses city water connected here. It's important to use all biodegradable soaps in the sinks, shower, and laundry because the gray water goes into the canal. The black water from the toilet goes into a 100-gallon holding tank in the hull, which a service comes and empties once a month. That costs $40 a month. The boat is connected to two 30-amp service boxes, which is plenty of power for everything you need to live. You can't run everything at once or it could blow a breaker. So for instance, you wouldn't want to run the clothes dryer and the vacuum at the same time. That sort of thing. There are 2 propane tanks in a cabinet here at the back of the boat. The things that run on propane are the hot water heater, the stove, and the oven. One tank will last between 2 to 4 weeks depending on how much you cook and how much hot water you use, and it costs about $18 to fill one of the tanks. We added this awning a couple years ago so you can stay dry while you're unlocking the door. It also shades the front of the boat and keeps it cooler in the summer. At first it seemed perfect, but then we discovered that when there's a heavy rain and you step on the edge of the boat, it tips just enough to pour whatever water was up there onto your head. So I found a nice gutter at Home Depot, cut it to fit, and then installed it up there. Now all the water is diverted right off the front. Let's go inside. So this is what it looks like now. And this is what it looked like when our daughter lived here. She loves plants, and I think at this point she had about 30. The kitchen is great because it has a full-size microwave, an apartment-size refrigerator, and plenty of counter space. The stove and the oven run on propane. Recycling can go in the cabinet under the sink. This is a pull-out garbage bin. And on the side of the fridge is a handy place to keep knives out of the way. The drawers in the kitchen cabinet are extra long for tons of storage space. This is a washer-dryer combo, and it works great. It's quite the luxury to be able to do laundry on a boat. The ceiling in the salon is 7.5 feet high, which makes it feel open and roomy. All the windows make this space bright and breezy. There are screens on all the windows, and we have curtains for every window, including blackout curtains in the bedroom upstairs. This lifts up to be a desk when you need it. Our daughter had a futon couch here that folded down to a single bed for guests. She also had a table by the refrigerator, and for 4 years this was plenty of living space. The bathroom has a full-size house shower. The boat has a tankless hot water heater that provides on-demand hot water that's heated with propane. This is a macerating toilet, so it's important to put only marine toilet paper in it and nothing else. We needed a tiny sink, so we had this one custom made. Alex Wilkin, the boat builder, is just amazingly talented. He designed and built this gorgeous mirrored cabinet door and the medicine cabinet. And then we wanted some counter space, so he built this cabinet with a door that opens to become a surface where you can put toiletries. This cabinet and the medicine cabinet borrow space from the closet on the other side of the wall. This little oil heater is all that's needed for heating the whole place in the winter without blowing a breaker. Our daughter kept it at the bottom of the stairs, and with the hatch open, it kept the whole place cozy. This giant walk-in closet is probably pretty unusual for a tiny house. It provides tons of storage space, including space under the stairs for larger things like suitcases and a vacuum. Also under the stairs is the hot water heater. Alex designed and built this beautiful custom staircase. The light switch at the bottom of the stairs turns on a light in the stairway and also the bedroom lights. And then once you're in bed, you can turn the lights off right beside the bed. These lights have a dimmer, and so do the lights in the salon. Because the ceiling on the first floor is so high, Alex was able to lower the original ceiling in this back part of the boat to make a lower floor upstairs. That means that the ceiling on the second floor is actually 6'7". So this is not like a tiny house loft. It's a full-height bedroom. Closing this hatch creates floor space in the bedroom, so you have space to get dressed and also space to stand when you need to access these drawers. The beautiful flooring up here is teak and holly. The bed frame is 60 by 80, a standard queen size. Under the bed are 6 big drawers with plenty of space for so many clothes. And then behind them are 3 huge bins that are handy for storing things like camping equipment, extra bedding and pillows, and that kind of thing. Also, there's an outlet in the headboard on each side of the bed, so plenty of space to charge all your devices at night. This closet is great for some hanging clothes and also the perfect place for a laundry basket. The 2 drawers here are nice for smaller things. This folding step and handle at the end of the bed make it easy for a second person to climb up and down without climbing over the other person in bed. And finally, outside is the upper deck, which really increases the living space. We added these posts with places to attach an awning here and at the edge of the roof for shade or protection from the rain. And most importantly, of course, this is the dish for the high-speed internet connection provided by a wonderful neighbor here on the dock for $50 a month. Just a couple of other points to mention. Parking is free at this marina and always available. There's a security gate with a code for residents. And moorage, including utilities, costs about $600 a month. I would have loved to keep this beautiful houseboat and rent it out. but the city of Seattle doesn't allow short-term liveaboard rentals, which I completely understand. If I lived on this dock, I wouldn't want a bunch of strangers coming and going all the time. And this particular dock allows owner liveaboards only, so no long-term rentals either. So now that no one in our family is living on it, it makes the most sense to sell. But I have to say, it'll be very sad to see it go. Well, thanks very much for joining me.